You would think that after the death of your mother, plus 3 of your children, you'd have experienced enough tragedy for one lifetime, but if you thought that, you wouldn't be Mary Shelley. Because after everything she'd been through, she would still lose the person she loved most in the world, her husband Percy. I'm delving into the history of Frankenstein each day. This is day 14, let's get into it. How could we talk about Percy Shelley without bringing up some of the strange behavior he was constantly participating in? Even his death would give us a few nuggets of odd to talk about. Let's start in June of 1822 when Mary suffers a nearly fatal miscarriage. I think we can all understand how this would affect a 24-year-old girl who had already experienced so much death. But Percy, as usual, somehow makes this all about himself. At this point, the Shelleys had moved to a villa on the northwestern coast of Italy that seemed more like a setting for a horror story than a vacation spot. How else could you explain Percy suddenly starting to see actual ghosts? A number of incidents occurred just before Percy's death that maybe could be described as evil portents if Percy hadn't always been acting strange from the beginning. He is very adamant that he saw a naked child rising from the sea staring at him and clapping, and he claims to have had a conversation with his doppelganger who asked him, "How long do you mean to be content?" And then other people start to see his doppelganger. Jane Williams, who was staying with the Shelleys and was likely having an affair with Percy, said that she saw a double of Percy walk past the window. Even Lord Byron said that he saw Percy walk into the woods, only to learn later that Percy was not anywhere nearby. Everything was getting very unhinged at the strange Italian villa, and this is when Percy decides to take his fateful voyage. He leaves Mary to travel up the coast, and on the return journey, his ship is swallowed in a fierce storm. Percy's badly decomposed body washes up on shore 10 days later. Lord Byron is shocked by its appearance, and he says that it resembles the carcass of a sheep. Percy's friends burn the body on a beach where they are treated to one last strange occurrence. Everything burns to ash except Percy's heart, which is stored in a bottle of wine and given to Mary. But she would take little comfort in the love of her life passing away before he turned 30. That's all for now. Follow along to hear about how one last tragedy impacted a member of the group that was there at the birth of Frankenstein.